I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Resident Games. Please stay tuned to the end of the video for a special announcement from them. So I was just at home playing the video games when my ghost dog bit my games machine or something, and it zapped me into the video game world. And now I'm stuck, going from game to game trying to complete them or whatever, until I finally find my way back home. I leap into a covert operations specialist. His name turns out to be Sam Fisher. I'm off to Iceland for a mission, and it seems like I've got a new recruit with me. I think to myself, he's probably gonna die. We jump off the helicopter into the frozen water, and wouldn't you have guessed it, it's cold. So cold in fact, that my balls no longer exist. It's supposed to be a simple reconnaissance mission, but things change. I say I'm not happy about the change, and that the new recruit should bail, but they insist that he continues. And I insist he's probably going to die. So we continue on, infiltrate the plant, and we find out that a rocket is going to cause the explosions. We zip line down and I sneak my way around. I decide I'll be kind and just knock out the guards rather than killing them. And it's pretty tense until I eventually catch up with my new comrade, who's done a great job of getting himself captured. And then he does a great job of getting himself killed. So it's up to me to save the day. And whilst I can't stop the missile from launching, I can do something to reduce its impact by pushing the buttons and stuff. When the mission is over, the impact is all on me as my boss tells me that my daughter's been killed in a car accident. He could at least have delivered it in a poop sandwich. You know, good news, bad news, good news. Well done on the mission, Sam. Your daughter has died in a car accident, Sam. At least you get to do solo missions again, Sam. I must have taken the news pretty badly because the next thing I know is I'm in prison. Turns out I'm undercover and I've got a new mission to infiltrate a terrorist organisation. I befriended a guy called Jamie Washington, who's part of the terrorist group, and we decide we're going to escape the prison. It turns out I've been digging a hole for a while, and so I make my way through that, sneaking past guards or knocking them out. Until Jamie goes and gets himself caught the donut, so I help out by knocking out the guard, which helps Jamie but doesn't really help the guard too much. We decide we're going to make it out of there by stealing a news helicopter. I help Jamie escape and we're finally free to be terrorists. This Jamie gets me inside JBA and welcomes me to the terrorist organisation. It starts off with me getting shown around their lovely building. I get some funny looks and stuff, but I don't care. I'm tasked with proving my worth by doing an obstacle course and cracking a safe. I get given 25 minutes to do it, but it doesn't take me too long when I work out what the hell I'm doing. But it gives me plenty of time to put a bug in the transmission dish on the roof and a bug in their server. I reckon I'll get away with it too. Even if I do spend a lot of my time going into restricted areas and annoying people, I reckon they don't suspect a thing. I got tasked with killing some guy to further prove my loyalty, I guess. It's a real ethical conundrum, but it turns out I'm more than happy to blow his brains out rather than blow my cover. Finally, I get given a mission. Ooh, terrorist mission! So I'm tasked with going to the Siberian coast. I jump out of a helicopter, and wouldn't you know it, my parachute doesn't open. But instead of plummet to my death, I decide to try the backup chute. Fortunately, it opens and I land safely. I sneak about and do my thing, eventually making my way to an ice wall. On my way there, after seeing me knock this one guy out, these guards blow up their own snowmobiles and kill themselves. And then I blow through the ice wall and decide to interrogate a guy to see how I get on the ship. I swim over, pull this guy off his boat, and then I get a call from the terrorists saying I need to up the body count. So I go around doing what I'm told, killing people, which makes the sneaking a lot easier when they're all dead. Thing is, not only do I have to do tasks for the terrorists, but I often also get calls from the good guy boss with tasks for them to do too. I contact my good guy boss Lambert. He says I need to do whatever the terrorists say to build up their trust. So I continue to kill peeps as I make my way to the captain, who's going to sink the ship if I don't get there quick enough. On the way I stab this guy and his body reacts like a burst pipe. Anyway, I get to Captain Birdseye and kill him. That's for all the fish. Happy with my kill count and my work, the terrorists tell me to get on the landing pad for extraction. Next I'm off to Shanghai to get some important information, which we likely won't pay for, what with being terrorists and all. As we make our way there, something happens to the pilot, and I end up having to take over the flying. After landing safely, this donut tells me I fly like crap. Oh, I apologise, I forget how terrorists usually have wonderful safety records when it comes to flying. Anyway, it turns out I'm not allowed into the meeting, and so I have to sneak my way in. It goes a bit wrong, so I end up having to John Wick a few peeps. I abseiled down the side of a skyscraper and watch as, for no particular reason it seems, a guard accidentally falls to his death. I managed to get outside where the meeting is taking place, and after recording it, a helicopter arrives and alerts them that somebody may be watching. I managed to get to a laundry room by taking out this guy's dirty laundry, along with the rest of him. I managed to steal the sample of something that the good guys want, and then I managed to steal some of the doctor's documents that the bad guys want. I get to the room with the notes, and I try to make it obvious to these guys that I'm there, but they still don't see me. I steal the notes and then subtly leave the room. I'm then tasked with killing the doctor. At this point, I don't know if it's the goodies or the baddies who want me to do it, but I just want to get the heck out of there, so I do it anyway. I escape on a helicopter, and I think to myself, it's quite nice to be on a helicopter which doesn't explode or crash for once. I'm back at the terrorist organisation's headquarters. Have a secret meet-up with Lambert. It suggested that I scan some blueprints which are in Emil's safe and record someone's voice so I can get past the voice recognition locks and into more restricted areas. After the worst case of human congestion on stairs ever, I give up trying to find Emil's safe. I do spend quite a bit of time carrying this dead body around the building though. Next we're off to Mexico, and despite being on a cruise ship, we're not actually there for a holiday, so I end up having to sadly put my sombrero away. Instead of enjoying myself and indulging in the all-you-can-eat buffet, I'm going to be planting an explosive. I do appreciate the Nivea for Men adverts that keep cropping up though. As I make my way through the ship, I meet a number of inept guards. It's almost comedic. I managed to make it past two of the worst guards of all time. I'm in the way of the door, and so when the guard tries to open it, it doesn't open properly. So of course one of them thinks something is up and kicks the door open. He pretty much stares at me and looks about as I literally hide right next to the door, and neither of them stop me. I make my way through the ship, taking out guards and other members of the crew. As I grab one guy, I'm spotted, and so I have to take out his shipmate. It means I killed a civilian, but it's his fault for using his eyes to see me. I take out this other guy and think to myself, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, because the moment he wakes up, it's going to be real touch and go if he survives this or not. I plant the bomb, and then I get the details of the detonation frequency or whatever it is to impede the bomb. Because whilst I want to make it appear to the terrorists that I did an explosive job, I also don't want to kill innocent people who are just trying to enjoy their holiday and wear sombreros. The terrorists are going to be mad, but I'll just try and blame someone else. The good guys wanted me to gas the vents, but I couldn't really be bothered. Well, that, and I like to keep the good guys on their toes, you know? Nervous, not knowing if I've actually gone full terrorist. I finish the operation by diving into the sea, and I start to think it's quite a long swim back to HQ. Then I'm back at the terrorist headquarters. Lambert calls me, which is absolutely fine considering the nature of the extremely sensitive undercover situation I'm in. He tells me that thanks to catching the detonation frequency, I can use my watch to broadcast a jamming signal. I get tasked by a terrorist guy to help him out with something, but instead of going with him, I just stand next to this guy whilst he takes a pee, just to make him feel uncomfortable. I do the stupid email encryption for the terrorists, which isn't fun, and then I obtain a scan of Enrica's fingerprint. I use her fingerprint to get into a security room to take pics of the bomb that us terrorists have. One inept guard clearly looks at me and continues on. Maybe he just wanted to pretend I'm not there. I can't seem to sneak my way past everyone, and after getting fed up, in the end I just decide to walk past everyone and pretend I just happened to get lost in a restricted area which is only accessible with a select few people's fingerprints. Anyway, eventually we all huddle up together to watch the red mercury bomb explode and all the pretty fireworks, except I use my device to make it not happen. So the only fireworks we see are Emil's. He's livid. And instead of blaming the guy who used to be, and still is, a covert operative, the very person who planted the bomb and who's clearly been sneaking around restricted areas of the HQ, he blames Enrica and then shoots her dead. I don't have time to feel guilty as I've got to go to Kinshasa to deal some weapons and go for a meeting. When we get there I'm told to stay like a good boy, but I decide to unstay like a bad boy. Despite the risk of being shot by warring soldiers, I make my way through the building. I interrogate some of them to find out details of the meet and stuff, and eventually I make it to where the meeting will take place. I'm gonna bug it so I can get all the juicy gossip to the good boys. But first I have to do a Mission Impossible style manoeuvre to plant the device. And wouldn't you look at the timing, just as I'm doing this the meeting is about to start and there's no way to get out. So I stay until the meeting is over and miss out on the free pizza. Then it's suddenly a race to get back to the truck before a meal. Still, I manage it eventually, and he tells me that they've been informed of a mole. Fortunately, they don't realise I'm the double agent and assume it's someone called Hisham, and I'm totally okay with him taking all the heat, to be honest. But they want me to bring the heat, so we're after Hisham. It's completely chaotic between the rebels and the army, or whoever it is fighting. I don't know, I just shoot whoever it is trying to shoot me, or whoever gets in the way, which is everyone it seems. I sneak when I can, and I shoot when I'm uncertain, but when there's an incident with a bus and a woman has her leg trapped, I show how nice us terrorists can be by helping her out. I download the info I need and get fed up with sneaking around the guards, so I just shoot them up. And some of them freak out. I spy the spy, but decide to miss Hisham so that my good guy boss is happy I didn't kill a CIA agent. But my bad guy boss isn't so happy, so I hang up on him. Then I go and rescue Hisham, and a big explosion happens which makes the bad guy boss think I did kill Hisham. So in the end, everyone's happy, and everyone wins. Back at the headquarters, we've got interrogating to do, but in a twist of events, it turns out that it's Fisher's oldest and best pal Lambert, my good guy boss. I take my time to decide what to do, and end up shooting near his leg. For some reason, the terrorists think I did a great job. Not sure how Lambert feels about it, what with being in incredible pain and everything. I tell him to hang on and I'll get someone to check on him before I leave him there on his own. I make my way to get some gear, but I couldn't find any drugs, so I just get my gun and equipment. Then I need to get a retina scan so I can get into a restricted area which requires a retina scan to get in. I managed to kill the guy whose eye I need to scan. I'm pretty much right next to him and he just doesn't notice me. To be honest, I think he deserved to die if he's that stupid. It's people like him why there are do not drink labels on bleach. To be honest, I don't know how they can trust me at this point. They know I'm an ex-covert operative and don't seem to question all this stuff going wrong, goons getting knocked out or killed, and me getting caught on cameras in areas I just really shouldn't be. Still, I make my way through, knocking out my terrorist colleagues, and I get to Jamie. I kill him so I can get his retina scanned, so I can make my way to where the bomb is. It turns out Emil is going to blow everyone up, except for the scientists, who he's kind enough to shoot first instead. So it's up to me to knock out the inept guards one by one by luring them to a specific spot with my fake whistle sound gadget. And then finally, I get to the big bad guy and we have an epic fight. Except we don't, because I end up just knocking him out with one punch. I scan his retina and do my cool bomb defusing stuff to defuse the bomb, and I save the day. Until a SWAT team arrive to make it look like they did it all and they take all the credit. But also so that any JBA terrorists will think that everything that went wrong was nothing to do with me, an ex-stealth expert who's the lone survivor of it all. And that's it. I jump into someone else. Oh boy.
When selling video games, it's important that you sell age-appropriate games and you don't sell adult-related content to minors.
Can I have GTA 5, please?
Do you have ID?
No.
I'm sorry, but without ID, I can't sell you this game.
Okay.
There are two ways to validate somebody's age. 1. Identification. 2. Facial hair.
Can I have GTA 5, please?
Facial hair. Sure. Enjoy the game, Myth.
Thank you.
Facial hair. Remember the rules. If you're not sure, challenge them.
Check.
Facial hair.